So far, we are struggling to score goals. We've only managed to win one game since the previous episode, and we are only just about sitting in the top half of the league. We've got two relatively easy games coming up today. Let's see how we get on. Welcome back then, guys, to the Red Devil Revival here on LS Plays FM with Kaiserslautern on Football Manager 21. Now, as I have just mentioned, since last episode, our form has been a little bit indifferent and we have struggled a little bit in the league. We are struggling to score goals and I am very tempted to change up the tactics. I haven't quite done it yet, but we may well look at doing it possibly for our second game of the episode if the first one doesn't quite go to plan. Now though, before we do get going in today's episode, guys, if you missed the previous episode where we took on Wiesbaden in the league, who were sitting third at the time when we played them, there'll be a link right above me for you to click on so you can have a watch of that video and see quite how we got on. And of course, guys, before we do get going, if you do enjoy this episode here today, please do make sure to chuck a like down on the video. It massively does help the channel out. And of course, if you're looking forward to seeing any more of my content here on YouTube, such as the Red Devil Revival series here with Kaiserslautern, or any of my FM21 experiments, or even any of my FM21 tactics videos, then do make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell to be notified when any of my content here on YouTube goes live. Now though, I'll get into our schedule first of all so you can see how everything took place. In terms of the games that we played, of course, we took on Wiesbaden last time out. We had a 1-1 draw against them. It was probably a fair result. We then took on Mannheim in the following game and we won it 1-0 just about. We had a long-range goal scored by Manuel Schmiedeback, who's playing now as a ball-winning midfielder, and he's looked better since changing to that role. He scored a very good goal in this game, the only one of the match, and we won it 1-0. You'll see we're not conceding many goals. Defensively, we're very, very strong, but offensively, we are struggling as well. We then took on FC Bayern 2 away from home, and we drew this 1-0. We should have won this. We had a lot of decent chances, but we just couldn't finish them, sadly, and Bayern's keeper kept them in the game in this, so it finished up being 0-0. And then we took on Ingolstadt at home, and this was a very tough game. Ingolstadt are a very, very good team, and they're predicted to be at the top of the table, basically. And this game could have gone either way. They eventually got a penalty, did Ingolstadt, and that was their only real chance in the game, and they scored it and they won the match as a result. In terms of the league, we are sitting, as I mentioned in the intro, just about in the top half. We are sitting in 10th place. We are very much bang average. We've played 6 games and we got 9 points. It's not horrendous. It's not great. The board only want top half, but I want to do better. And with a win, we'll be back up hopefully into 4th place, possibly up into the top 5-6 teams. That type of stuff if we win the opening game of this episode. We have 2 games in today's episode. We first of all take on Meppen and then we take on Hansa Rostock as well. 2 teams down the bottom of the table in and around the relegation spot. So they should hopefully be easy wins, but inevitably that won't happen. Now though, in terms of how we're going to be lining up, we're still using the 5-2-3 tactic. But if it doesn't go to plan in this first match, I have another tactic from my Norwich City stream save over on Twitch, which I may consider using. We will wait and see with that. If you're interested, by the way, in Twitch and any live streams and for that, there will be a link down to my channel down in the pinned comment and in the description. So if you want to come over, give us a follow and join us over there for the Norwich City save. We're in the Premier League and the Europa League, then just come along. Join us whenever we go live. We should be going live probably on Thursday. This video will be out on Wednesday. So if you do want to come over, drop a follow, that type of stuff, feel free to do so. Now, in terms of how we're going to be lining up for this game, as I say, we're going to stick with the 5-2-3. It's going to be Krapikas in net, who's been pretty decent since coming in. It's then Kevin Kraus with Mengi and Rieder still at the back. The back three have played pretty decently, to be honest. I've got no real complaints. It's then Manuel Schulze and then Hertscher at wing back. I have dropped Hluschek for Hertscher in this game. Hertscher had a decent game up against Bayern 2, and I felt it was fair enough because Hluschek played pretty poorly in our previous game with Ingolstadt. It's then Ritter as a deep line playmaker with Schmiedeback. I have dropped Enzo Zidane for this game. He's been playing very, very poorly, so I put Ritter into the central midfield as a DLP. He can play that role. It's then Redondo at right wing, and I'm then playing Elias Hoof at left wing. It's his first game for the club. He's just come back from injury, so I'm hoping he can come and do a job, and it's still Pori up front. So it's pretty much a full strength side, other than that one change with Enzo Zidane dropping out. But I'm pretty confident that against a side as weak as Meppen, we should be able to get the job done. But who knows? With us underestimating teams, it never goes well. Let's get the team submitted then, and let's see how we get on. We've got to give a squad number to our backup goalkeeper. I'll give him 42. It's the only one that's available, so we'll give him that number. Not in the world. He's a young goalkeeper coming through the youth ranks, who I'm giving a game on the bench because our second choice keeper, Spajic, is injured currently. Now, in terms of the lineup of the opposition team, I'm not going to pretend I don't know any of the players at Meppen. I haven't got a clue. Let's get into the dressing room now. I'm going to go and point the finger, say we are favourites and we should be winning this one comfortably. And none of the players cared, unsurprisingly, due to the fact I don't speak German. We'll say I have faith, and somehow they are listening and understanding me. As I keep mentioning in previous episodes, I don't understand how they can be motivated by a guy they don't understand just flailing his arms around and hoping for the best. But it seems to be working. Regardless, let's get out into this game away at Meppen and see if we can get a result. At the end of the day, I will probably take a draw considering the fact we are away from home, but we really could do with a win, to be totally honest. As long as we get a goal or two in this game, I'll be pretty happy as well, considering the fact we are struggling on the goal-scoring front. We could really do with some, and we most definitely need to be keeping a clean sheet, because that so far has been our best aspect, has been our defence, which we're playing 5 at the back is probably unsurprising when you think about it. Now then, we've got a highlight here in the 17th minute. Krapikas lumps it up all the way up to Pori. Is he going to be through on goal? He certainly is. Great control. Pori, how has the man not scored? Oh, that is so poor from Marvin. He should have scored that. There is no doubt about that. It should have been a goal. Ritter, though, through the set piece, and it goes over everyone's head. Sadly for us. There's been very little else to speak of since that initial effort from Pori. Very, very quiet. We're completely keeping Meppen out so far. They haven't had a single shot all half. And there is another highlight, though, here in the 36th minute. Will it be the first effort for Meppen, or will it be another one for us? Hopefully it'll be for us. We can certainly do it. Having great ball in there. Redondo, it's got to be a goal. It certainly is. I don't know where the markers were. Fantastic cross in there from Hercher, and a really calm and composed finish from Redondo. He found himself in so much space. He had the hard work still to do of actually controlling that ball and finishing it, and did a fantastic effort. He just was on here on the right, and just no one picked him up whatsoever. Fantastic run from him. Really, really good, and a fantastic ball from Hercher, as I've already said. Really good to pick him out so perfectly there, and just make life so easy for Kenny. He's second of the season. Very, very good stuff. Hopes going at half-time at 1-0 up. And indeed we are. This is most definitely the type of performance I want to see against a struggling side in Meppen. They haven't had a chance all game. We've had next year 1.1. We put the effort away. Very, very dominant from us so far. Now let's get into the dressing room though, and I'm going to be honest with them. I'm going to say we've got to guard against complacency now, and somehow again they are listening. I'm actually going to get annoyed though at Marvin Pori, because in fact he missed that effort. I am going to get angry at him. I'll point my finger at him, so I'm disappointed, and again somehow he understands as well. I say maybe it's actually the lads speak English. That could actually explain why. I've been to Germany quite a few times. I know that they get taught English from quite a young age, so that could well be how they are understanding me. I don't quite know, because I'm not going to pretend. My German is very, very lacking. Hang on, don't concede. Oh, dear me. I think Krapikas probably would have had that covered, but that was a very, very decent effort there. There's another highlight here. Oh, hang on, mistake there. And Pori, again, somehow hasn't scored. It's been given offside. I think I'm going to take him off for that, I'll be honest. I know he was offside, but he should have put one of those efforts away. The only striker I can put on in his place is Hoof. So I guess that's what we'll do. We'll put Hoof up front. He can play up there. He's got decent finishing, I think 13. So we'll put him up there in his place. And I'm also going to then move Ritter onto the left, and we will bring on Enzo Zidane in his place. We'll go back to having Ritter on the left-hand side, as we are used to seeing. And we are just whizzing through this second half. We really are. I'll be honest, I don't mind us doing this. I'm happy for us to see games out. We've been pretty decent at doing it in most of the games we have played. I'm going to make another change, though. I'm going to sub off Schmiederbach for Shifshi, who can play as a ball-winning midfielder. That is what we've normally played Schmiederbach as in the last few games. He's been doing pretty well there. And, oh, hang on, there's a highlight here in the 83rd minute. Providing we don't concede, we will probably go a little bit more defensive after this. Redondo to Enzo here. That is... How on earth was that not a penalty? The guy went in so quickly and from behind, and somehow wasn't a foul. Regardless, though, Mengi's done well to recover the ball there for us, thankfully. Krapikas here. Come on, don't be silly, boys. Don't give anything stupid away. Krapikas lumps it up, and decent control there from Elias Hoof. Come on, Elias. Come on, is he going to go all the way? He's going a little bit of a mazy dribble. Elias still. It's gone to Ritter. It's 2. Come on, Marlon's first of the season. Very, very decent little run there from Hoof. A little bit lucky the way the ball deflected straight to Ritter. But I do not care. Come on, we needed the goals after the recent performances. Very, very good stuff. Nice little run from Hoof. Might well be worth giving him another game after this, considering the fact he's performed pretty well in comparison to how other players have recently. I'm going to make one final change. I'm going to sub off Redondo for Scalaritidis. I think, I've got no idea how you pronounce it. We'll put him in there on the right-hand side and hopefully see this game out. Okay, there's one highlight here just before the 90th minute. Do not concede, please, boys. We have been so dominant in this game so far. If we concede, there'll be so much injustice. And, of course, we have due to a stupid, bloody slide tackle. Oh, I love Football Manager. I love it. Oh my goodness. If we do not win this game, I'm going to be so pissed off. Right. Defensive. We're going time wasting. Stop the overlap. Stop passing to space. We'll tell both of our wingbacks to go more defensive as well. Oh, guys, please do not screw me over here, honestly. We'll put Shifty on a more defensive role and all. And hope for, oh my god, there's a highlight. Oh, don't do this game. If we get this FM'd, it is total bollocks. And I'm sorry for the swear there. It will be an absolute piss take. It really will. Schultz are here. I don't know if it's a proper highlight or just because we were making the tactical changes. I'm hoping it's the latter, or we're going to go and score maybe. Because honestly, if Meppen get another goal, it is going to be no. No, Krapikas, thank you. Right, we need to drop the line back as well. Honestly, what on earth is going on? They've done nothing all game, and they get a lucky goal in that first one, and then they almost score again. I think we are going to hold out, thankfully. Indeed we are. Thank goodness for that. We deserve to win it by more goals than just the one. They did not deserve a goal whatsoever, but regardless, a win is a win. And that is the main thing. I'm going to go and praise the boys still at the end of the day. You're going to say, good win there. And they all look very, very happy about that. The win as well gets us back up into the top 6, as I initially thought it may well do. We're up there with 12 points. Looking a lot better than being down in 10th. Let's get out of this screen though. And of course, we then have our upcoming game at home this time with Hansa Rostock. Hopefully with that performance just then, we can use that to bounce and continue onwards and get another good result in the upcoming game. So I'll see you for that Hansa Rostock game, another struggling side, in a few seconds. Here we are then, ready for our final game of the episode, the second one here, and this time we are at home to Hansa Rostock, another team struggling down the bottom end of the table. And in terms of our lineup, it is practically the exact same team that played against Meppen, but I've made one slight change. After the poor performance of Pori up front, I have dropped him and put Hoof up front, as of course we moved to that tactic midway through the Meppen game. Ritter has gone back out now to the left wing, and then Enzo Zidane has come back into the DLP role instead. Pori instead will be starting from the bench. We'll have to wait and see quite if he gets onto the pitch or not. But that's how we're going to be lining up. I say exactly the same otherwise for the team. I'm going to submit the lads here and get us out into the second game, this time at home at the Fritz Walter Stadion. I'm hoping, considering the fact we won the first game away at Meppen, we should be able to win this game here as well up against Hansa Rostock. They are much like Meppen, a team struggling down the foot of the table, but this time we are at home, and generally speaking, I always expect us to perform better at home. Now, I'm going to say to the boys, I'm going to be pump fist. We are favourites for a reason. Go out there and make sure they're left in no doubt as to why. And other than Marlon Ritter and Krapikas, nobody cared. So let's have faith in them to the rest of the boys. And to be fair, other than Hoof and Schultzer, no one else was convinced, unfortunately, for us. But here we walk out in our all-red attire with Rostock in their blue. And hopefully we can get the job done. We performed very well in that previous game. We really did. Because in fact, it finished 2-1. It should never have been that close. Of course, I was very, very close to getting very, very angry. But thankfully, Krapikas bailed us out. So I'm hoping, considering the way we played last time, going forward especially, we can replicate that in this match here. An early-ish highlight, 22 minutes in. And it looks like it could well be a chance for Hansa Rostock. I'm hoping not. But we will have to wait and see. As I mentioned earlier on, we have got another tactic I may well look into using, which is my Norwich City stream save, which is still a 5 at the back formation, but it's a 5-2-2-1. In other words, it's a formation that uses, rather than wingers, it uses 2 attacking midfielders. And we do kind of have the players do it, so it may be something for us to look into. I will wait and see. That formation has worked wonders for me in my Norwich save, with us being up in the top 6 of the Premier League already in our first season and pushing it once again in our second season. So it certainly could be one that we could give a go here with Kaiserslautern, but we'll have to wait and see. That first effort from Hansa thankfully was blocked, but who knows if we're going to see anything else. It's been a very, very quiet game. It really has been. We're almost at half time, and we've seen one highlight, which was a shot that was blocked, and other than that, we've not seen anything at all. So a very, very dead game in comparison to the previous one. I'm going to go and actually get annoyed at the boys. I'm going to thrash me arm saying far from pleased. I think that's a fair enough response, because in the fact we haven't seen a single highlight from us at home so far in the first half. And I'm tempted as well to change up to having 2 up top actually and go to the old Man U tactic rather than the Norwich one. I think putting on another striker might not be a bad idea. So let's go to the Manchester United tactic here. We'll put Ritter in behind the striker. I'll get Pori on. So we'll have Pori and Hoof together. We'll bring Pori on as the advanced forward with all his pace and his fact to be fully fit. It probably makes the most sense. We'll then swap Schmiedeback and Zidane over. And that's probably all we will do for the moment. We'll wait and see quite how that goes for us and see if it has any benefits or not. Schmiedeback's having a really poor game, as is Hoof, but I can't really take Hoof off, but I can take off Schmiedeback, so I am going to do that. We're going to go attacking, and I'm going to take off Schmiedeback for Shishi. And I think actually what I'm also going to do is I'm going to be on Scalaritidis, but I'm going to drop Ritter to where Zidane is, playing as a DLP, and then we're going to put Scalaritidis in behind the striker. He can play that role, and I'm actually going to change him up to a shadow striker and change Ritter to an advanced playmaker instead. I'm going to tell Hercher to go more attacking as well. I really want us to try and go for this game. We're going to stop playing out of defence, and hopefully that can help us get ourselves a goal, maybe be a little bit quicker, that type of stuff. I will up the tempo as well pretty soon if the result doesn't change. Kraus here, I don't know if this is a proper highlight or not. Come on, Schultz, decent-ish ball in. It's been headed clear hand. Schmiedeback to Ritter. I thought he was going to hit that, but he's done a really random pass all the way back, and it's really killed our momentum there, sadly, for us. Come on, boys, please. Can we see anything at all? This does seem like it could be a proper highlight, you know. A decent ball out there to Schultzer. Come on. Come on, Schultzer. Get a ball in. It has done, and it's been claimed by the goalkeeper, unfortunately for us. Kolka there. It looks like it could end up being a draw this game. It really could be. It's been a very, very quiet game. This highlight is still going on. It's a very long highlight. And it looks like it could be going out for a corner there. And indeed it is. Are we going to see anything from the corner, or is it just going to end as soon as that ball goes out? And indeed it has. What a waste of our time there, Football Manager. Flipping heck. I'm going to say demand more. Like, in terms of the stats, we've been so dominant, but we just haven't created anything clear cut. We really have not. It's been very, very poor from us. Has to be said. And I'm going to make Schultz go more attacking now as well. And I'm going to make Ritter go attacking too. I'm really not sure what else we can try, other than maybe upping the tempo, being a bit more direct, playing a little bit wider. And I guess we can try and push even higher up and press even more. I don't know. I really don't. I'm very, very unsure on what else we can try here. Go very attacking maybe. Are we going to see anything from the boys? It looks like we're not. Compared to the last game, it's a very dead match, and that right there is the problem we have been having in some of our games. We defend valiantly, like we completely kept Hansa Rostock out. They had 2 shots, none on target all game. Really, really good stuff. We apparently had 15 shots, 4 on target. We didn't see a single one, so I don't know why the game didn't show us any, but that has been the problem. We have an XG though of 1.0, and yet we didn't do anything, so I've got no idea. I'm going to say that simply put wasn't good enough, and most of the lads do agree. I'll be honest, I was kind of expecting maybe 4 points away and home. It kind of came in the wrong way round, in my opinion. I thought we'd win at home and draw away, but I suppose it's not the end of the world. A little bit disappointing, though, in the manner in which we didn't win that game just then. Still, though, the draw keeps us in 7th place. I said I wanted to be in and around the top 6. We're only 1 off, and we're on level on points as well, so it's not too bad. Let's just though take a quick look at our schedule, see what we're going to come back for next episode. I think we may make a slight jump in time a little bit. I reckon we will be coming back for the Saarbrücken match at the end of November. The reason being is Saarbrücken are a local rival of Kaiserslautern, so that game right there is a local derby, plus Saarbrücken up in 6th place, so they are very much in and around us at the moment. And we'll also come back for the Duisburg game as well at the very beginning of December. Duisburg currently are sitting in 3rd position, so they will be 2 very difficult games, and the Saarbrücken game especially is a must-win derby match. So that's what we'll be doing in next episode, which will be out on Friday. Overall though guys, that just about wraps up this episode here today, and as I've already said, I'm not too disappointed with the fact that we only got 4 points from a possible 6. I wanted to get a win in this episode, which we have done thankfully, and although the game with Rostock was a little bit disappointing with a 0-0 draw, it wasn't the end of the world. Again, we defended very, very well, which was the main thing. We may well look to swap the tactic up to the tactic I have already mentioned, the Norwich City one. So I will have a think about that and see if it's worth us trying it. And maybe by next episode we could well be using it. Regardless though guys, I really hope you have enjoyed our pair of league matches here today. If you have done, then please do chuck a like down onto the video. It massively does help the channel out. And of course, if you're looking forward to seeing any more of my content here on LS Players FM, such as the Red Devil Revival series, then do make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell to be notified when any of my content here on YouTube goes live. Now though guys, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you again next time.